As part of his farewell engagements, Israel Ambassador to the Philippines, His Excellency Ilan Fluss, visited NET25 to mark the conclusion of his diplomatic mission. During his tenure, Israel and the Philippines expanded cooperation in key areas such as agriculture, innovation, and humanitarian assistance.
Through our stories, audiences across the globe connect and reconnect. We are reminded that even in the face of complexity and conflict, there is always hope. Ambassador Fluss, thank you for making all these possible, for opening doors, for opening hearts. Indeed, you bridge cultures, ignite collaborations. You are a storyteller, a unifier, and truly a great friend of the Philippines. To us, your friends at NET25, you are not only Israeli in our hearts, you are also Filipino. Shalom and maraming salamat po.
In this courtesy visit, the ambassador shared his thoughts on the evolving partnership between both countries and the future of bilateral cooperation.
I take it as part of my duties to be in touch and with the different, of course, media in the Philippines. And I find NET25 actually very friendly and accommodating and interested to hear from me and to engage. So I find these visits important, helpful, and friendly.
Mm-hmm. We learned that you're about to end your tour of duty this July.
Yes.
So, what would you consider your legacy as an ambassador here in the Philippines?
First of all, let me say that these times are very mixed emotions of happiness of going home and reuniting with my family and my children and my parents, but also sadness because I've been here for 4 years. I'm already rooted here. I have so many friends. I feel so much at home here. So it's mixed emotions. If you look at my achievements, I also have to be modest. But I came with a vision 4 years ago, and my vision was building bridges of innovation and technology between Israel and the Philippines. And I believe that my vision is already starting to be realized because we have already some partnerships today which are doing exactly that, bringing Israeli innovation and technology, implementing it here in the Philippines, and through that contributing to the development and better life of Filipino people. For me, this is, I can say that bringing Israeli technologies, bringing Israeli innovation, and implementing them here in the Philippines, adjusted to the local conditions, that's something that I was able to accomplish.
How do you see the Philippines' prospects, having it at par with Israel and other countries in terms of technology?
Since my engagement, I have to say that I see that there's a lot of things are happening. There's more and more innovation. I'm very much connected to the startup community in the Philippines, and there are more startups, there are more initiatives. So it's not there yet, meaning you don't have a lot of venture capitals. So the ecosystem is not big enough, but it's already certainly in this direction. And more than that, when we look about technologies in the Philippines, and there's a lot of progress. You have digital banks, you have more and more things happening online, and digital is better, is cleaner, is more effective, brings results, and it's a way for progress. So the potential here, and I always say the potential in the Philippines is enormous. When you look at Israel, for an example, on the agriculture, dryland country, and what we're able to do, the Philippines, you have very good soil. It's such a fertile country. So much can be done. So I think we are in the right direction, and I think the government here and Filipinos are doing the right thing. And I think it's about creating more partnerships where you can work together with other countries, other private sector, government, and things are in the right direction.
Being the ambassador of Israel in the country, what efforts have you done to strengthen and deepen the relations between the two countries?
Well, Wayne, that's a very broad question, but I've done so much. I mean, since I've been here, we had a historical visit of the Israeli Minister of Foreign Affairs in 2023, June 2023. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of Israel has not been here since the 60s, so it was really a historical visit. We had a very good meeting and engagement with President Marcos, of course, with Secretary of Foreign Affairs Manalo, and we have done a lot. We have delivered a lot of technologies and systems for the AFP and the defense of the country. We have created new partnerships in agriculture, contributing to food security and improving agricultural productivity in the country, and this was done through new partnerships between private sector, but also we increased the number of a program in Israel where we are hosting interns in Israel for 11 months, interns in agriculture. And we used to have 500 from the Philippines. Now, even with the war and the challenges, the numbers increased to 700. And the idea is that 700 graduates, after 11 months, will come back to the Philippines and bring with them, it's not only the technology, it's also the way of thinking, the approach of how to do modern, sustainable, commercial farming. Because in Israel, if you're not commercial, if you don't make money, you don't exist. And maybe finally, I'll just talk about our latest initiative in the Philippines, and that's bringing an Israeli model of a women's health center to the Philippines. And this is going to happen. We actually the first activity we had on this project was in the midst of Israel being attacked by missiles by Iran. The doctors came from Israel to the Philippines, and they were working here with the Filipino counterparts in Rizal Medical Center in Pasig. And it was so interesting to see from one side amazing engagement in sharing the Israeli practices in the training, also talking about, doing the job in the process of establishing the center together with the Department of Health, the DOH. As they were working, they were connected to the smartphone, to the app in Israel, and making sure when there were sirens going on, and we have apps who give us a warning, and as they're working, they had to communicate with the families to make sure that the families in the shelter, that it's safe, going before the attack, and then making sure afterwards that nothing happened and everything is fine. So it was challenging time, but at the same time I saw the commitment of the people and our commitment as the embassy and as the Israeli Development Agency, Mashav. We are fully committed to continue with our development programs here in the Philippines, even in a time of a crisis in Israel. What I call Learning Center. It's an initiative which is from grassroots, and it's not a big initiative, but we wanted to present a model of different kind of learning, because the learning is very much, in a setting of a classroom, teacher, the student sitting down behind the table, and they are listening. It's not interactive enough. So what we would think that we can add to it an element of more informal and fun learning. So in those learning centers, we bring some educational books, educational games. The room itself is in a setting of sitting on the floor, on mats, and having bean bags and different cushions. So it creates a very friendly, fun environment for the kids, and they can sit down and read a book or play a game. They have also a computer, there's a screen, it's air conditioned. So it's a very friendly environment. It's good for the elementary schools.
Very convenient for the students.
Very convenient, I think very attractive. And also for the school, it gives them like a short break, but it's still educational. It's not just going and running around or I don't know what. So we have this in a few schools around Metro Manila, And this time we decided to go out of Metro Manila to Cavite, to Bacoor, and we inaugurated a learning center in Bacoor. And we're going to do a few more still this year.
So, just right before you end your tour, you still have a lot of activities set.
I'm busy until the end, but of course my successor will continue with those initiatives. I mean, this is a long-term commitment. Israel is here to stay. I mean, we have long historical relations. The thing is, what else, what new dimensions, what new elements do we bring to our relations? So not only the political, and we're pushing, I mean, a lot of political issues on, I would say, strategic or issues of safety and security and counterterrorism. But I think, and I talked about the economic and private sector, but I think it's also important the humanitarian side, or touching the soft areas of collaboration in health, in education, and of course in humanitarian assistance after typhoons and natural disasters.
You're pushing for a bridge in innovation, and we know that there's a lot of advantages using technologies, but somehow technology is being abused. So how does Israel prevent your people from abusing these technologies, right? Like here in the Philippines, they learn how to use these technologies to scam people.
So I think this is, in a way, it's a race between, I'm sorry to say, the good guys and the bad guys, maybe you would say. Technologies are opening a lot of opportunities. When we talk about AI is not the future. AI is here, and we have to learn how to use it. But we need to learn how to use it, and not just guess how to use it. And when we say to learn how to use it, meaning how to use it safely, smartly, to maximize the benefit, but then of course to minimize possible misuse. So that's a challenge which is a global challenge. It's not only here in the Philippines. And there are ways, I mean, all these, scam messages, there are different systems that actually we are also introducing to the telcos here, how you can identify and remove those, let's say, threats from the system. Technologies can bring solutions to those technologies. So it's a race. And we are here, Israel is really in the front edge of this race. When we talk about cybersecurity,
we acknowledge the help that you have given to our kababayans who are affected by the conflict. So, what are the latest now with the Filipinos there in Israel?
So I can tell you, I called the Filipina, who is a caregiver of my father-in-law. Her name is Edna. And during the conflict itself, during the missile attacks by Iran against Israeli communities and cities, and she told me that she is fine, she feels safe. She goes to the shelter when there is the alarm going on, when the siren's going on because of an attack. And I asked her, Edna, do you want to be repatriated? Do you want to go back home to the Philippines? And she was laughing. She said, no, I'm staying here. And I asked her, what about your friends? And she said, no, they're staying here. And we even had webinars to help the caregivers and the Filipinos in Israel socially, psychologically. Webinars on how to deal with a situation of stress, how to deal with a situation of such conditions, what is sort of giving them tools to address the situation. And of course, if they need help, they could consult, and they have even social workers that they can approach. To the best of my knowledge, until today, since October 7, 2023, less than 2,000 have been repatriated. Big majority of them actually ended their contract in Israel, and this is why they returned back to the Philippines. And I even get today people approaching us on Messenger and Facebook, all kinds of ways, approaching me, the embassy, they want to go back to Israel to work in Israel.
And a lot of
We,
Filipinos still want, despite the security
Yes.
situation, they still want to work in Israel.
yes, because they know that Israel is an advanced country. They know that they are well protected in Israel, not only also security, as I said, I mean, the shelters, safety rooms. I mean, now the attack, the normal missile attack currently now by Iran, but they have the mechanisms. They are, from the social point of view, they get all social security, they get all the medical insurances, they get the pension fund, they have a lot of savings, and they get the same salaries as Israeli counterparts. There is no discrimination on the building bridges of innovation and technology between Israel and the Philippines. It's something that we need to continue working together. The relations between our two countries are warm, are good, are friendly, and we need to continue together building them and bringing them to new heights. We have reached quite high on the food security. We have reached quite high on the people to people, but we always have to continue reaching higher. I talked about education, about the medical, about humanitarian assistance. There's always more to do. So we are in the right way. On the personal level, I would want to say my message is thank you very much for opening your hearts, for receiving me in such a way, a wonderful way, me and my family, my wife and my children. It's something that I cannot take for granted. I've been in other places and I feel here so much welcomed and so much loved and appreciated. And I want for this to say, maraming salamat. Thank you very much.